Hey, welcome to Here Saves. I'm Paul,
And I'm Patrick.
and today we're doing our news monthly roundup thing for May.
Thing for May. Yeah, what did you miss in May and what should you be looking forward to in June? Funny, Paul, I think every time this Thursday of the month comes up, it's always the last Thursday of the month. And we always hope that that Thursday is going to be as close to the actual end of the month as possible. But
Exactly.
this one is like almost a week away, unfortunately for us.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of May left to go. So we may be covering some things that are future May. Ooh, very Back to the Future of us. Yeah, so Paul, I'm raring to go for one simple reason. May had that whole thing going into it that had the stink of Quantum Mania, had the stink of, oh, maybe Marvel have done themselves in. Will things work out? Is there going to be confidence in the box office? But then that amazing thing in April of, by the way, Super Mario Brothers can make all of the money in existence, and we may have a whole new generation of cinematic universes around games that are incredibly popular. So it was a really weird mixed April heading into May as far as optimism and pessimism in the finances of movies.
Yeah.
And that's why Guardians of the Galaxy not sucking, number one, was great. The fact that it was brilliant
Yeah.
was even better because I like Paul. I don't do we didn't review it. How many thumbs up would you give it?
I have to grow a couple more hands.
Thank you. Yeah, I raise all of the thumbs that some psychotic thumb collector has ever cut off people. That got grim and weird. All of the thumbs. I know. I
seems,
halfway through I thought, don't bail, go for it.
that seems like a comment for October for our Spooktoberfest. But
I should have saved that. I should have saved it. Guardians of the Galaxy,
yeah,
popular with people, popular with critics, and thankfully popular in the box office bank account. Started off well, has continued to go very well. So it's making enough money that it's not going to be considered a failure in any of the metrics, which is great.
yeah.
So that's confidence for Marvel. Nice to have it because I think that's needed. And confidence for DC because it's a James Gunn film and he's heading off over there.
Yep.
And then it gets followed up with Paul, a movie that I'm not going to give loads of thumbs ups to, but Fast X was the other big blockbuster close on its heels a couple of weeks later. Fast X did okay domestic wise, did what it usually does in a Fast and Furious way, made loads of money overseas, very popular in China, global box office. It's 330, 340, 350, or whatever it is now. It's making money.
Yeah.
Will it make enough money to even break even? Because as you pointed out in a recent show about this, was it $320 million budget?
So it's between 320 to 340 million. Like, so that's where
Which,
the
by the
budget
way,
is.
folks, is Avatar budgets.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the surprising. Yeah, we think that it mostly goes into just you know, a lot of kind
Corona.
of corona head kind of, I guess, wax, like head bald
Yeah.
wax kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And costumes, cars that are just having to be rebuilt, and like, because they're we by this money they definitely have to be just buying some of the really fancy cars and just wrecking them and buying new ones, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Well, funny, ironically, though, Corona, the drink, is what I was referring to, but Corona, the virus, is part of what's cost them so much money
that's also
in making this. So, Corona on both ends, but I'm pretty sure the cases of Corona that they've had to buy, because originally, I don't know if they have it now, but like up to Fast Four, and I remember checking this out, they did not have a deal with Corona. The people who make, they were just free advertising
yeah.
that beer. If I was Dom, I'd be like, I want to pay for my chargers and my other Mopar cars. I need a Budweiser sponsorship or something if Corona aren't paying me.
Well, this is an just a side note
Yeah.
on this. An interesting thing. It's an interesting tactic. Do it in four of your movies. Have them become really really popular, and then go to the company and go, "We will no longer show your beer on our movies unless you pay us," which is a really good thing
Yeah.
because like by four, like everybody knew about Dom and his Coronas.
Oh
you
yeah.
know, kind of thing. So like, yeah, just because I think even in 4 he says the line like, the only thing you really need is like a Corona and something else, you know. And it's just genius marketing in the sense to now be able to go to Corona and just be like, we'll change that to Budweiser if you don't, you know.
Yeah. You know, he's going to end up crashing a car because he found a little callback here. He found a severed thumb in his Corona. There you go. I knew I'd justify that earlier creepiness. But Paul, the what am I getting at here with all this stuff? Why are we talking about this? We've got the Little Mermaid dropping tonight, depending on where you are. It is projected to do pretty well.
Yeah.
You know, as well as a live action remake of an animated movie can go. And God knows we're going to have enough times to test that theory since every animated movie is getting a live action,
Oh,
including your beloved Lilo and Stitch. Um, I know it's still wrong.
see, okay, so this is an interesting thing, just to do another side note on the Little Mermaid thing. So there is some controversies following the movie,
Mm.
based on casting choices and stuff like that. I tell those people to they can.
I'm happy to say that they're all morons. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They're all, idiots. I'm trying not to swear. They're all people. But yeah, no. So this is the interesting thing. Everybody's really focused on essentially the controversies for which is that for the casting and stuff like that. I looked at the animation stuff, the CGI stuff. There's
Mm-hmm.
some really janky stuff in the trailers.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, I am lucky enough to know plenty of animators and stuff like that, and
Yeah,
we've
you do.
been constantly going around about how much jankiness is in the trailer. That it just looks like
Oh.
several things just look unnatural and stuff like
So
that,
almost
and
previs levels of kind of, oh
it's
wow, unfinished CGI.
not unfinished CGI, just really weird kind of choices in motion and stuff like that, and it's just like which makes it really seem unnatural. Because there's one scene where the Little Mermaid flows, but like swims backwards, and it looks very weird, and like, but it was
Right.
very interesting because all we could hear, like all the animation animators and stuff like that could see from like the comments were all just like racially charged kind of comments and stuff like
Oh
that, where we
gosh.
wanted to be just like. We wanted to be just like, has anyone seen the animation? Because it's really fucking weird.
Yeah,
So,
anybody knows how weird you know what? Fuck it. Let's all swear. Hey kids, tell your folks
go
you're
to
gonna
bed.
watch some adult content or go to bed. And if it's about 9 a.m. when you're watching this, still go to bed. I don't care. Um but yeah, like that's funny because there's the whole I'm not even gonna call it a controversy because it's hopefully it's mostly dead now. It's when the announcement was made that a mermaid wasn't going to be the race that people expect mermaids to be because mermaids don't exist. I'm assuming a load of people that had a problem with that have spent a lot of time with their heads stuck in water looking out for actual mermaids to check their, I don't know, their Caucasianness or something. It's very, very weird. The movie itself, though,
Yeah.
I think there's a massive community of like Disney fans and of Disney animated movie fans that if they get things like this right, because we were recently talking that Cinderella has been very
Cinderella.
well received
Yeah.
and it's considered one of the good ones. If this is one of the ones that they do well, and please the fan base, it could actually be another hit of the summer. It could be another upswing on why we're talking about this, which is Guardians Fast X. We're starting to see a good heavy recovery, not just what everybody was worried might be the Mario jump. Hey, of the I tried to do something there. I don't think I pulled it off.
I don't know.
It's me.
I just didn't want you left out there on the cold, so I decided to do
Thank
it.
you very much. Cheers, Luigi. Actually, I think I'm Luigi in this relationship, dude. Maybe I'm Yoshi. I don't really know my Mario well enough. The cool thing about this though is if they can get something like the Little Mermaid right,
Yeah.
and they do introduce it to a whole new generation as live action,
Yeah.
I hope that that'll encourage them to make sure they don't go off the boil and just keep pumping because they're going to keep pumping these things out.
Yeah.
But if they're encouraged to get it right because there's more money in getting it right,
Yeah.
that'll be good for Lilo and Stitch. It'll be good for Moana. It'll be good for all those. If this thing makes decent money, but everybody goes, "Oh, that wasn't very good though," but the kids will watch anything.
Yeah.
I'll be really, really sad because that means Lilo and Stitch and all of the others will just get the money treatment. Get
That
it done, get it out there, make the bank.
yeah, it's essentially that yeah, they're merchandising and so all that kind of like that's the reason why they're doing it, and they have scripts already built. So the thing is that if they the reason why the Cinderella one was so good was because it diverged a little bit from the animated version of the film. So like a little bit. So like it made its own. It essentially was its own thing, but still
Yeah,
Cinderella. If they can do that with the Little
perfect.
Mermaid, if they make a little bit of a change and stuff like that, like keeping the core parts there, but make it a different film, like
Yeah,
kind of thing. Then I say you'll probably do well because you're telling a story that people know, but in a different way with some different changes and stuff like that, which is great. You know
exactly.
and that's
Exactly.
that's what they should be doing moving forward instead of weirdly just deciding to essentially just do live action because Lilo and Moana is a bit of a stupid one to me because it's so recent and it's just like no
Yeah.
one has asked for it. But going back to the old ones, like going like Bambi and stuff like that, and like going back into the past, like ones that we haven't seen in years, might be a good idea to go for. Go for like Cinderella and stuff. No, sorry, not Cinderella. Snow White and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Except for they have the Maleficent ones, but Snow White and a couple of other ones might be actually a really good choice to go back into. But
Well, if they're going to do it anyway, I agree with you because it's not like we're all, we're not pumping for them to do these things. Star Trek 18, the search for more money.
yeah,
It's a case of, if they're going to be doing it anyway, I agree with you. They
make it
really should try
smart.
and be smart about it, be original about it, for lack of any originality. But that's cool. So, Paul, that was me just getting one off the top.
Yeah,
May sent some strong signals that we may be in for continue in the recovery, even though Quantumania and a few other things that were quote unquote going to kick off the summer blockbuster season. Let's face it, Quantumania was a disaster and did so much damage that we were just really lucky that Mario was able to turn the ship around. And now it looks like Mario wasn't some sort of weird aberration, so that's great.
well, yeah, like this is May is always the gateway towards the blockbuster kind of season of stuff. So there's some great stuff coming out this month or like for the rest of the summer and which we will cover here, so don't go away. Which goes but
So
you know
what's the next of May's big stories?
Well, let's go on to which is the let's do a fun one,
Excuse me.
a little bit more, which is Arnie has been announced as the chief of action of or the chief action officer of Netflix. He isn't actually. This is essentially Netflix's campaign of opening up their summer blockbuster action movie kind of list, kind of thing. So there's a lot of movies coming out, over the summer, which are just action based. He's actually like Arnold Schwarzenegger is also in his own TV show movie, um, which is fun Fubar, about a I think it's about a it doesn't matter. It's about I think it's an action kind of comedy kind of film or TV series.
Yeah, he was a spy, and now he finds out his daughter is also a spy,
Yeah,
and him and his daughter have conflict and hijinks because of the fact that one of them didn't know the other one was all these things. That's what I can get from the trailer.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, so that's the kind of quick synapse. But it's yeah, it was started or it's been announced today that yeah, Arnold is now the chief action officer of Netflix, which is just their campaign to kick off their summer blockbuster kind of things. Which, as we say, that seems what May is, and then on top of that, just with the kind of I guess marketing campaigns kicking off, we had which was a Barbie movie drop. Now I'm just going to sort out the imagery actually, so that's actually
No
terrible.
problem. Well, while you're sorting that out, one last thing on Arnie, by the way, he's also announced that officially he's never going to play the Terminator again,
Yeah,
which I think we all kind of go, yeah, good. We hoped that the damage has already been done, so let's leave it where it is. So fair play to him.
yeah. Like I'm gonna be sad because even though Genesis wasn't great and Darth Fate weren't great, his character in it was enjoyable still. In both of
True.
them.
But and much like we're going to be talking about Indiana Jones next month, I'm happy enough to not have any horses beaten after they've already been dead for too long. So
Yeah,
I'm more comfortable with wanting more but not getting more Arnie
yeah,
than getting more Arnie and wishing we hadn't.
yeah. Which is also funny because with the announcement of Arnold not doing any more Terminator, the amount of like, that's in Terminator Rise of the Machines, Terminator 3 Rise of the
Mhm.
Machines. There's a cutout scene where they have Arnold Schwarzenegger as like drill sergeant, some like Dapper Dan or something like that, and he has a
Yeah,
really terrible voice, and then it's some money pusher who is Arnold's voice. That is
I did like
spread
that.
through social media like a wildfire. So
That's a classic. I love that. It wouldn't have worked in the film. I'm glad they cut it, but it's a really nice little
it
bonus
it's
that we shared afterwards.
a fun little thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, a couple of hours ago, which was the Barbie trailer dropped,
Yes.
giving us a little bit more information about the Barbie movie, which has been a polarizing movie online in the sense of
Oh,
not no let's put it not
tell me people aren't pissed off that she's not plastic enough or something. I
no, it's
don't.
no none of that kind of stuff. No, it's more just people are just like I haven't played. Like, I don't play with Barbie, so I don't know why, or I never played with Barbie, so why is this a movie kind of thing? And then, like, I guess the older generation is just like, yay, Barbie, a Barbie movie. But, and a lot of people are just like, this movie isn't for you, it's for us, kind of thing. So
Wow.
nothing over controversial or
Yeah.
anything like that, or kind of like, anything. It's more just, it's fans of the doll, it's fans of Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling
Right.
and then kind of I guess younger people who are just like
We must
the
comment on everything.
younger generations are just like they're too old to play Barbie and Ken, and it's just like yeah, I don't understand that comment. But anyway, the trailer dropped a couple of hours ago, so definitely go check it out. She gives you a little bit more information about the overall kind of I guess plot of what's going to be in the movie, what to expect. I am interested. It gave me a little bit more of understanding of what this movie's going to be about. Thank God. So,
I'm still planning my double bill because Oppenheimer and Barbie. I don't know which order I'm going to see them in, but I'm going to try and see them same day just to see which nostril my brain comes out.
oh, it's going to be so weird.
So weird.
Like,
But
who?
when else are you going to get that chance?
I hope.
When is there going to be a movie release weekend with that
Yeah.
as the oh,
So, the reason that I love it so I hope someone in the studio suggested that they just do it. They were like either Barbie or Oppenheimer were both just like, yeah, let's come out now. Just when Barbie is coming out, or Barbie was like, let's go for Oppenheimer kind of thing. The other thing is that they're both one name movies. It's Oppenheimer and Barbie. So like it's a genius move because the amount of YouTube videos that we're gonna see, like of Oppenheimer versus Barbie, which is so good. Like I just love the
we're
idea of
doing it.
Oppenheimer versus Barbie. Yeah, no, we're definitely scheduling that in immediately. But Oppenheimer versus Barbie, like who in the if
Oh
you
God.
went back like 30 years ago and when there's going to be a movie about Barbie and Oppenheimer, people will be like, "You are mental," like
It's true, actually. Yeah, that they're both going to be the most talked about thing for one weekend. I also, Paul, if we do that video, can I please write the subtitle like for the thumbnail? I just wanted to say more similar than you think.
yeah, yeah, we'll do one of our famous compare movies where it's just like these
Yeah.
themes both correspond to both.
I believe he is referring to Fast and the Furious and Star Trek being the exact same franchise. Look it
Indeed,
up, folks. Check out our back catalog. We're weird people.
we are.
I'm weirdly excited for Barbie because I don't know what to expect, and I
Yeah.
like the idea of something different. And I never think something's rubbish until I've seen it, and then go, "Oh, shame that was rubbish," because everything is promise until you've seen it,
But
and then
there's no point in judging any movie off a trailer anymore. Like
no,
either watch the trailer and get what you get from the trailer. Don't make prejudgment on the movie anymore because trailers are just
it's
all
true. Actually,
so.
it's very very true.
So what else do we have in store? Ooh,
Well, can I suggest we talk about what is really, and we didn't open with this, folks, because it's not the happiest topic in the world, but I think the biggest news this month really is a writer strike. So the WGA went on strike at the start of the month.
Yes. So yeah,
The
this is
Writers Guild of America.
yeah,
So, yeah, Paul, how about we talk about what we think, because we haven't really discussed this, what we think of the idea of the writers going on strike, and possible resolutions, because I think really the story after that, which we've got to move on to, is how will this affect TV? And I don't want anybody going, oh, do you not care about them? Because I'll cards on the table. I think they are in a position right now that they should be asking for protections. They should be asking for fair treatment. And if anybody out there doing any job right now that's wondering how AI will affect them, imagine being a writer.
yeah. Like so, I think that we can both say that Heroesite stands with the writers on this topic. We like, as much as we've badmouthed writers in the past, we support them in everything that they do because we want to see better stories. They are storytellers, so which we love. So I think we
Yeah.
stand with them.
I
But
think everybody's got to get together and find a reasonable resolution for everything. But anybody who thinks, oh, these people don't, they don't have a case to make, you're not looking hard enough at the business practices of Hollywood and beyond Hollywood. And then that AI landscape, which has to be addressed before it gets out of control in their industry.
yeah, this is one of the biggest things. So, which is, yeah, so they essentially they went on strike in 2008, before, which was, and now they've gone on again. And if you think about the distance between 2008 and 2023, what has happened? We've essentially had an explosion of entertainment. Like, since the streaming
Yeah.
wars started, TV and movies have exploded, and we've got introduced to so many really good writers and really good stories and stuff, all because of these people. So
Yeah.
they are essentially the bedrock of, which is the entertainment industry, and they are getting paid nothing. They have no protections,
Yeah.
no benefits, nothing. Which they definitely should. They are essentially the original storytellers of all of your like, favorite TV shows and everything. Obviously, the ones that are based on books, they have rewritten them specifically
Yep.
for on screen. So that's, like, also an important storytelling aspect. So,
That
um,
have been undervalued. And
yeah,
Paul, we're going to go to ads in a minute, actually. So I'd like to leave people with a cliffhanger to get them to come back. And that is, when we come back, I think there's something that people forget about the 2008 writer strike that has changed the landscape of TV in particular forever.
yeah,
And we'll tell you what that is when we come back after these messages. Does that sound, Paul?
sounds good to me. Be back in a couple of seconds. Bye bye.
You obviously like two people talking about movies, or you wouldn't even be seeing this ad. Well, don't tell anyone. But Hear Us Out isn't the only choice. You should check out our friends over at It Takes Two podcast. It's a podcast where two people take two films with the same plot or premise, watch and discuss them. Films like Gremlins and Critters, or The Truman Show on EdTV. Lisa and Nick don't stop there though. They get creative and compare some unexpected movies. Some that you don't see the connection until you realise that they can be described in the same way. They launch new episodes every second Tuesday, or Monday if you're in New Zealand. Find them on your favourite podcast service, or check the link in our description down below. That's It Takes Two podcast. Tell them Hear Us Out sent you.
And welcome back. So hopefully you've enjoyed that little ad of our friends It Takes Two. The only other two people on the internet doing great work on the entertainment things. All others are terrible. Everybody else is terrible. Any duet who is doing news and entertainment stuff are terrible, except for It Takes Two and Hear Us Out.
That's right.
Come at me, other people.
Yeah, and the only ones I fear are gone. Siskel and Ebert are gone, so we have no power. We have no equals. Gosh, this is getting out of hand.
And Antideck only do Saturdays, so not anymore though.
Well, Paul, I teased the idea of what is the massive fallout that has changed TV forever from the writer's strike. It's never the thing that people are thinking of, because it wasn't the writers that did it. It's the absence of writers for a period of time. People say nature abhors a vacuum.
Yeah.
Well, TV abhors the idea of not having writers, because then you can come up with something called unscripted television,
Yeah.
also known as reality TV, which massively. It got an adrenaline shot. People are like, reality TV's been around for it. Yes, as a concept, as a thing that, had gained some prominence and popularity, but the absolute boost that it got from the writer's strike, where everybody was looking for, well, what can we make and try and legitimately say we didn't need writers for this.
Yeah.
Now, people will then point to, well, what about scripted reality? That's really what's become in vogue, and there are entire TV networks devoted to reality TV shows. And yes, they're hugely scripted with writers involved now.
Yeah.
But if that's what happened last time, that it accelerated the growth of reality TV, is that going to happen again? Or what I think may be the fallout that I'm not necessarily comfortable with the idea of is that we'll get a new type of cheaper, dirtier, faster reality TV to fill this void. I think this time next year we could be talking about the fallout from the writer's strike, and not just on the shows that were delayed and the things that didn't make it or the quality that was affected.
Yeah.
I think we could end up seeing some very negative consequences of what's been injected into the entertainment landscape. And not, bad fast food's tasty. It's not good for you. You get too much of that into your diet, doesn't mean people aren't going to eat it. So yeah, I'm worried that there might be another boost of things that we don't necessarily need, and that some business people will go, this didn't cost us much to do. We should do more of that. Pump out more crap that we can sell quickly.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Yeah, so there's been a lot of there's a lot of unscripted kind of TV, as you said, which came out and it boomed because there was Big Brother and a couple of other shows that kind of exploded the reality kind of TV concept even further into kind of our spheres. Then we have essentially now the Battle of the Bands esque kind of like, Has America Got Talent and all that kind of stuff. So, but we've like the ones that have been scripted have been more kind of dramatized and stuff like that.
The Real Housewives and the Kardashians and things like that.
Yeah, kind of thing. So, but there's an element that started to come out which is prying into people's relationships and recording them 24 hours a day, and specifically cherry picking relationships that they have been told prior to it that they are, not they have a history of not being faithful or something. Like, it's essentially curated, dramatized reality, unscripted TV. And like, I think as a society, that kind of level of TV just makes us mean and horrible, kind of thing. Because that's not, it's not who we are. But I think that's going to come out a lot more. That kind of level of stuff is going to come out a lot more, and we're going to lose some reality TV that we love. That is kind of more, I guess, like Gogglebox. I feel like Gogglebox essentially will be on the chopping block if it's it's doing very well. But I believe that if these kind of like, I guess, horrible, because everybody likes a bit, it's like, so people seem to like kind of, I guess, like, I can see one called Karen's, and it's essentially following a bunch of people who are very opinionated and stuff like that. And we're only like the reason that they put them in front of the camera is the only reason that is because they want people to just watch them go off on like a rant or something like that.
Yeah,
and that's just a horrible thing to be plugging into a society, especially at these points of times.
and something that wasn't in existence, it was in existence but not as prevalent over a decade ago, was you now have essentially a whole lot of people interviewing for their own reality TV show. It's social media and influencers, people who are already nominating themselves for a reality TV show. So it's a bit of a weird one. I don't know. I hope the writers and everybody else, because we're going to see more unions going out on strike along with them as other agreements are up for draft this next month coming. I hope that this all gets resolved, but I don't want it to get resolved quickly in a selfish way of, I just want my good TV. I want the writers to be back at work. I don't want all these negative fallouts. This strike could go on for quite a while because it doesn't seem like there's a huge amount of movement. So I guess I'm not hoping for it to last a long time. I just hope it doesn't end before decent agreements are reached. So yeah, I don't really know where to go with that one or where to leave it, Paul.
Yeah, like that's the like this has a twofold thing. We could lose a lot of good TV shows. There could be a lot of TV shows that could go missing, as it were, in the sense that we could end up like Heroes lost. Like a lot of them got damaged because of the writer strike. Um, that is just the fallout of what is going on, and we shouldn't blame writers. We should blame the people in charge of paying writers. The other side is that yeah, me getting a society that's more meaner based on the entertainment that they consume, which is more kind of toxic. That's a that's a very
Yeah,
big possibility, and yeah, we might have to do a episode of this entirely on the fact that
yeah.
that kind of unscripted reality TV show.
I think everybody can see why we didn't open with this story, even though it's the biggest story of the month. I think, Paul, we can go back to fun stuff, except for one thing, because I've just realized there was a comment in there that we didn't call out. Brian says, shout out to the icon, Tina Turner, RIP. Absolutely. Big wheel, keep on turning. Tina is an absolute legend. Lived an amazing, troubled and successful life. So, yeah. Always worth mentioning an icon. Rest in peace. So, Paul, what do we have that can lift our spirits, man? What's a good upswing from that?
Well, since we were like there's just a plethora of sequels coming out.
Yes, Paul. I gotta say, worryingly, there's a trend now. We were all excited to hear about Beetlejuice 2. Yay! Everybody loves Beetlejuice.
Yes.
Michael Keaton's having a renaissance, or a Keaton-sance, or whatever way they're going to end up saying it with his name as part of the word. But you've also then got, and I'm just going to go back to my notes. Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis say that they'll be doing doing Freaky Friday 2.
That's a weird one, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd like your thoughts on that, because Jamie Lee's obviously got the Oscar juice in her now, so she's got enough swing to get things greenlit.
Like, do we
Lindsay Lohan though?
Lindsay Lohan's not doing enough. Is doing kind of an upswing now, kind of thing. So like that's not as weird as probably like a couple of years ago. That would have been a weird one, kind of thing. But now that's Lindsay Lohan's kind of on an upswing. I don't see why overly kind of it's that. And
I would worry about her acting ability. And I hate saying it that directly, but there's a difference between her doing the original Freaky Friday that she did with Jamie Lee Curtis and being able to play somebody in someone else's body, and then doing it. She could get away with a lot more when she was younger and hadn't lived the life she's lived.
Yeah,
I don't know how to say this politely.
So I get why they're doing it in the sense of kind of like but because of the money. But could they turn this? Could they see? My only thing is that if it wasn't for Disney probably being a part of it, you could turn this into a fairly interesting movie where Lindsay Lohan's character could have been in a darker time. And have them switch bodies, which would be a nice kind of morality kind of story of like turning your life around and stuff like that. But
you're going for a higher age rating than they're willing to go with. Yeah, but I'm watching the movie that you're writing on that one though.
Yeah, Disney been involved and stuff like that. It's going to be interesting, but it's also a soft comeback for it's another soft kind of reboot for Lindsay Lohan, in the sense that it's no one is expecting much from the movie.
No, and it surprised me. It did surprise me. Although, Paul, and did we jump through Beetlejuice 2 too quickly? Did you have anything that you wanted to say other than yay to it?
Beetlejuice 2 is going to be amazing. I don't know, like they've definitely done it right in the sense of who they're getting the original cast back.
Yeah,
which they're getting Wednesday.
not Olivia Rodrigo. What's her name?
it's just
I've
so
blanked on her name right now.
the actress who plays Wednesday in the
Thank you.
Netflix TV show, which is she's returning as essentially the daughter of Winona Ryder's character, which is going to be great. But yeah, Michael Keaton's on such a like if we're talking about upswings, Michael Keaton is on a renaissance kind of like a Keatonis or something like him and
He's got the comeback trail covered.
yeah, like him and Nicolas Cage seem to be on such a fucking upturn, like kind of thing.
Nicolas Cage never goes away. He just stands in the corner making weird films until he comes out of the dark and makes things that people see again.
That's the thing.
I'm convinced Nicolas Cage has been making films since before film was invented. We
That's-
just don't know it.
Him and Keanu Reeves are ageless, and it seems
Yeah.
weird kind of thing. But so from Beetlejuice, like and Freaky Friday 2, and talking about Nicolas Cage, which is Lord of War 2 kind of sequel coming out. Then that's an interesting one because that's definitely not been asked for.
That's thank you for saying those words. Who's asking for this? Which me being me, not trying to be weird, was just born that way. That's the reason I'm interested and actually positive at the idea of doing this movie. Lord of War, for anybody who can't remember it, the great poster. Most people remember the intro scene because it's a bullet being made and going through its whole production line until eventually it's shot by a child soldier at another child soldier. I think if I'm remembering it right.
It's been shot at someone and killed someone.
Yeah.
So
I really enjoyed that movie. Really enjoyed that movie.
yeah.
Did I ever imagine they'd make a sequel? Not on your life, because it's actually loosely based on some real life events as well, remember? So no one's asking for this, which makes me think someone's had a really good idea.
Yeah. It's based on a book.
There's a second book.
Well, no, I don't know.
Oh.
No, the original one is based on a book.
Sorry. Yeah.
The first one's based on a book, so I don't know what this. Yeah, I don't know if someone's just taken. I don't know if this a promo to are they going to release the book for the is there an updated book coming out or something or is this, as you say, is this a unique idea that someone decided to have with the character? I guess.
Yeah, and Sarsgaard is going to be in it. I cannot remember which. I would want to get the wrong first name. It's the Sarsgaard. Bill, thank you. I'm down with it. This is the one of the whole list of surprising announced sequels that I was like, there's no sense in this at all. I cannot see where this is coming from. Therefore, I'm choosing to say that it must be for a good reason. Someone's got a good, unique, interesting story to tell. Let's do it. And please let them create another brilliant poster.
Yeah.
Because that original bullets making up Nicolas Cage. Brilliant.
Yeah. It's a reminiscent one of the Truman Show one. Which is the one with the frames. Which we've also done collage. I think we did a movie poster one that we really, really enjoyed. Video.
We did, linked somewhere, or just go to our video channel, type in posters, and I'm sure it's going to be the first result. Paul, there is one more though.
Yeah.
Because if you can dodge a bullet, and you can dodge a Lohan, and you can dodge a Beetlejuice, you better be able to dodge a wrench, because there's going to be a dodgeball too.
Yes. Which
a long time after the first one.
Yeah, that's so. My worry is, I don't know. This is money as well, but my worry is that how are they going to do it in a way that it's just going to be like there's another dodgeball, there's another average Joe Jim, or is it that the original characters are coming back as the dodgeball team, or is a new generation, it's all their children or something like that? So are we going to do a grown-ups thing here or something
I will get more and more excited for Dodgeball 2 as it's announced who all has agreed to come back, because you need Vince Vaughn and Ben Stiller, but I think you also want your Alan Tudyk's, your Justin Longs. You want as many of those people. Root, his first name has just escaped me. All those people, as many of them back as is humanly possible, because Dodgeball. It is a true underdog story
It
because
is.
it's an unexpected film that everybody has a soft spot for. I would love Jason Bateman to come back in some capacity as a announcer, because people always say, Jason
Yeah.
Bateman's brilliant at playing Jason Bateman. And I always point out, it's absolutely right. I say that too. But then you watch Dodgeball and go, Jason Bateman, fair play.
It's great. The amount of times that he says cotton in that.
Oh, it's a bold move,
It's a
Cotton.
great, yeah. That is.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see
Yeah.
how it pays off.
Yeah, no, it's a great movie, and I like, I hope this doesn't tarnish the old one, but there's a lot of, as you said, there's a lot of factors need to be brought into it to have it come back as a well received kind of sequel, But if they're like, the one thing is that out of our list, Beetlejuice 2 we're really fond of, kind of thing. We're really excited for. Lord of War kind of has this interesting. Freaky Friday and Dodgeball 2 is synonymous with the sequel kind of crap that we have to go through in the current day movie kind of thing.
Cash in sequels.
Yeah. So like, I don't know how to feel about the rest of them. But
yeah,
I'm gonna see Beetlejuice 2 and probably Lord of War, so
look, time will tell. Again, I won't prejudge things just because they're sequels. Paul, because I guess we want to get on to what's coming up next month. There's only one other thing I wanted to throw in there. The upfronts were in May. Usually that'd be something we could talk about. Pretty much a non-event this year, thanks to the writer strike. A lot more muted than you might think it's even possible.
yeah.
Still plenty of fanfare and, surprise guests and NFL players and all that kind of stuff. But the little story that I picked out of it is, for anybody who's a Disney Plus Marvel fan, Paul, I know we are. Echo, the TV show that no one asked for. Echo, for anybody who's not familiar with this, you would have seen the character introduced in the Hawkeye Disney Plus show, which is not the best received of all the Disney Plus shows. So it's already on a bit of a lower pecking order as far as people's interest goes. But also, Echo being a character who's an adoptive daughter of Wilson Fisk, brilliantly played by Vincent D'Onofrio. You've got the original Netflix Daredevil, as people refer to him, Charlie Cox, coming back to be Daredevil. There's a lot of important things that are going to be in Echo, like Fisk, like Daredevil. But they've announced that, unlike all the other Disney Plus shows that launch one week after another, they're dropping all 10 episodes at once. And that tells me one thing, Paul. They want everybody to say, oh God, see that Echo thing that came out? Nobody's interested, or it's crap, or negative. They want that to happen once rather than having 10 weeks of people going, ugh. Because they went through the ringer with She-Hulk. Like, I liked She-Hulk, but I know I'm practically alone in that. I don't think Disney Plus are ready for any more series that can keep generating negative thought.
Yeah, I think like it doesn't bode well or confidence for the series that they're going to dump it all in one go. Now, the only other reason that they would do it, and I'll do this in the kind of optimistic way, is because it's good, and the fact is that they want to deter people from other current stories going on within the Marvel Disney kind of sphere, kind of thing, that they just kind of go,
Secret Invasion.
Yeah, and they'll do things, but they want to be just like, hey, here's Echo, why don't you enjoy that kind of thing, so that that's actually the story for a while. Nice. That it's just like, oh, this is an interesting show. It's because this could be the membrane between bringing in even further, because we had Echo and we had She-Hulk, which brought in characters from the Netflix original shows. We could find out that Echo is essentially the membrane to bring them even further into the family of the Marvel universe, because the Punisher is meant to show up somewhere. He is being brought into the main universe as well, and we just don't know where yet. And we could find that in Echo at the end of this season, like at the end of like the last episode or something like that. The Punisher turns up, kind of thing.
I do love John Bernthal, and I very much want his van. So, like, I'm down with it. Paul, you've just done that amazing thing where you could tell I needed somebody to turn this into a positive. I'm not buying what you're selling though. I think this is, and I appreciate that you
No.
tried, but my heart is still, my brain actually is overriding my heart. My heart's going, I love what Paul's saying, and my brain's going, he's lying to you. This thing's got to be rubbish, and he's trying to make you feel better.
No,
Um,
like
it is genuinely possible though. You're right.
no, it's just possible that this is just a tactic of kind of getting clearing the board with other things, or yeah, it is going to be a terrible show, and they just want to get it over with and
They're flushing
done
it.
with.
Yeah. You know what? I hope they're not flushing a turd, because I always wish for success more than failure for all the people involved.
Though it also
Um,
could be the fact that it's a new tactic in binge watching. So that's
mm,
another one that they're trying out, the binge watching kind of tactic that Netflix has a tendency of doing. So
yep. And we have a little video about that from about 2 or 3 years ago. Also,
we
please go
do.
check out our old library. Paul, what do we have to look forward to? So if May is giving us Aquaman being amazing in in Fast X. By the way, anybody who hasn't seen Fast X yet, it's terrible, but in such a great way. But Jason Momoa is a shining star. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is something that me and Paul will have to talk about in front of a camera at some stage, because I'm starting to rate it not just in my top 10 Marvel movies. Every day it gets a little higher, Paul.
Mm,
I have fear that at some point it may actually creep into numbers that you're not going to agree with.
you're
As in,
probably
I'm
right.
starting to think this may be on the
Top top three.
top three.
Mm,
Could be top three, could be top four. It's that good.
I get you.
Mhm.
Um,
So what have we got?
well, we'll start from the top of my list, kind of thing. So we've got now, these are in no particular order whatsoever, so they're not in release order or anything like that. But we're just going through some of the movies that we are excited for. Elemental. It is the Pixar Disney film, which is about opposites attracting. That comes out in June 16th for us,
16th.
and June 16th for America, July for the rest of the world,
Yeah.
kind of thing. But it comes out in June, technically speaking. Excited for this one. Should be a little fun kind of
I think
element.
it's going to be awesome. Check out the Elemental teaser trailers and stuff, folks. I think this is going to be our next Inside Out. I think it's going to be the one that everybody ends up having a weirdly strong emotional connection with.
We have, like, everybody has PTSD from Inside Out.
Yeah.
You can always choose a moment within these films that it just gives the entire world PTSD about it.
Yeah. Boing,
Up.
boing.
Yep.
Up. Yeah.
Yep.
The opening of Up.
So, next movie is Simulant, which is a sci-fi movie, which is it is the reason I chose this one, and I told Patrick the kind of the synopsis, which is obviously open to him to go. This seems interesting. It is essentially based on the first season. It's not based on it, but it's like the first season episode in Black Mirror about a partner passing away, and then they get a replacement. They go a little bit more further with this kind of concept and stuff, but it's a small sci-fi kind of film, which I'm very interested in. So, because we've gotten some great stuff from small sci-fi movies or shows before, so
That's true.
I'm excited to have a look at this one. The next on the list. Oh,
Yeah, go.
next
No,
on the
you
list is actually one of you, like the one that you brought up, No Hard Feelings.
yeah, I think that's weirdly interesting. So June 23rd, No Hard Feelings. It's going to be it's a Jennifer Lawrence raunchy comedy. That's the best way to describe it. But the reason I've added it to my list of I'm interested in it for the month is because Jennifer Lawrence has not had a great time with the public in a while now. So it'll be interesting to see how this is received. Is this going to be her super bad moment where people go, yeah, I'm into it. Jennifer Lawrence is back for us now. She never went anywhere for me as far as her acting ability goes. She's done enough to prove herself. But this will be interesting to see how it does for her career. And Paul, it's out on June 23rd, which is the same weekend as a Wes Anderson movie. I think it's really interesting cross programming to say that you can go from a raunchy Jennifer Lawrence comedy that's testing the waters to see where her career is at, to Asteroid City, which has everyone in it.
Yeah,
I think we're in it and we just don't know it yet.
Probably. The list, you can see the list up there on the side of the poster with the picture. It is a long list. I do like how they've specifically chosen out bigger names to kind of emphasize certain people, which because it feels disingenuous towards others, kind of thing. But
A lot
anyway,
can be read into this, actually.
yeah. But um yeah, there's a lot of like really really good names in it, so
Thing is,
can't
though,
put.
Paul, like having seen the poster and watched the trailer, could you tell it was a Wes Anderson film? Like,
Oh no, not as no.
it's very out of character for him. I felt when I learned who was behind it, I was shocked. I tell you, I practically fell off my turn of the century Auburn stool, which I'm sure he has somewhere in his house.
Probably
It couldn't be more Wes Anderson if it tried.
no.
It's Grand Budapest Asteroid Hole, or pick any one of his other movies. It's him all over.
Yeah, they couldn't be. It's not mistakable. It is like he saw Oppenheimer's list of or cast and went, "I can beat that."
I can beat that and give it a pastel color while I'm at it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm down for it. I'm looking forward to Asteroid City. I hope it's going to be good.
yeah. Brian says, "Crikey, some cast." Yeah, it is literally everybody you love. You know, Jeff
Yeah,
Goldblum is in there, Tom Hanks, Steve Carell, like Bryan Cranston. There's plenty of people in there that, which is Scarlett Johansson is in there. Plenty of people in there that everybody's gonna love. So which is check it out.
it's a
Um,
bit nutty.
what is next on your list of movies? Do you have
Well,
any
I'm going to
more
wind back to
good?
the start of the month, Paul, if that's all right,
Yeah,
because
go
I
for it.
think we've got a big one kicking us off with Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. So, in my notes to you, I just put a one word beside this, and that was yippee.
Yeah,
Yippee spelled with all the P's and all the I's and all the E's. I'm very excited.
yeah,
We've both talked at length about how one of the great regrets I have for all of the cinema going public is that not enough people got to see the first Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse in theaters.
yeah,
I hope now that so many people have watched it on streaming, they've realized, yeah, animated movies can be theater movies for sure, and none more so than something like this. So I really hope it does well, and I really hope people get to experience it in theaters, because someday I'm going to go to a cinema that's showing the original again, just to experience it on a nice big screen, the way it should be.
it was great, and the soundtrack for the Spider Verse, which was or the Spider Man first one was incredible. So I'm expecting big things from this one as well. So
Yeah,
but yeah, it
looks like
should
no
be.
signs of changing on that. I'm already actually listening to the trailer
Yeah,
song regularly, so fair play to them.
that's the thing. Yeah, no, they do soundtracks really really well and mix in the music and stuff like that. It's very
Yeah.
good. So
I can't wait to see this. I can't wait to see what you think of it all. This is one of my big picks for next month that I'm most excited about. And Paul, can we then maybe go into one that I couldn't give a shit about?
can I guess what that one is?
Please guess what is on June 9th that I couldn't give less of a heaved out turd about.
Which is really upsetting because I'm kind of excited for it.
Really? Oh, we
It's
got to talk about this.
it's
Hit me.
it's going to be stupid, but it's Transformers: Rise of the Beasts.
Yeah.
Which is it's
I've been burned, man. I've been
I
burned.
I enjoy I'll be honest with you. I enjoy the Transformer movies, kind of thing. I've enjoyed all of them in certain ways, and this is the one that I've kind of been looking forward to the most because
Oh,
Rise of the Beast Wars, kind of Transformers Beast Wars, was a show that I watched when I was a child. So like seeing all the
right.
characters, I missed the original '90s kind of like because early '90s or early '90s
80s.
late '80s kind
Yeah.
of Transformers. I missed those. So Beast Wars Transformers was more
So this is
mine.
your generation's Transformers, because they've
Yeah.
already ruined my generation's Transformers. And I'm not
Yes,
going to say the first film. I enjoyed the first film,
that's the only
but the
one.
gradual slow decline into Mark Wahlberg, eh, oof,
I enjoy I enjoy Mark Wahlberg's just like just personality in a movie. So like it's just
yeah, I enjoy him too.
just yes, but no, I like as I said, I enjoy them in the sense that they're just stupid kind of movies that I like. I can switch off my brain and just enjoy the many
Yeah,
many explosions. But we also do have to talk that Michael, like the Transformers movies, may have killed Michael Bay's career.
Yeah.
kind of thing. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it in a morbid kind of guilty pleasure kind of way.
Well, then I'll stop being such a prick about it all. Then, you know what? If you're interested, I am now vicariously interested in Rise of the Beasts.
It's gonna be stupid.
Um, there's a massive gorilla transform. But look, they've brought back my Optimus Prime, so he's now at least he's a cab over truck, which makes more sense.
Yeah. Also, the monkey is called Optimus Primus. Just want to say, because he's the ape version of Optimus Prime. There you go.
Of course he is, Paul. Of course he is.
Anyway,
So turning to the weekend following that, though, Paul, possibly the biggest release of the whole month, middle of the month, June 16th, up against Elemental. Poor old Elemental might be getting a bit of a box office kicking because of this. And I think it's why in Ireland it's probably moved. You know, the US, they're going to go head to head. Elsewhere, they won't be counter programming. But The Flash, Paul,
Yeah.
I'm excited for The Flash for many reasons. But you've heard what Tom Cruise thinks of the movie. He thinks it's great.
yeah.
Stephen King, who doesn't like superhero movies, thinks it's great. They're finding lots of people to say that this thing is great. And that's starting to worry me. It's like, why do you need so many of these? Why are you showing it to so many people? Like, I'm glad that they're saying it's great because I don't think they're going to lie.
No, I think
Or are they?
no, I don't think they are. I think the reason that they're doing it is because it is the last in the old guard of DC. So there's no real point in watching it in the sense that you're not getting more of this type of thing. But it could possibly be a very important linchpin within the DCU kind of restart. So they're kind of trying to get people to kind of go and watch it kind of thing. So I think that's why they're trying to get, celebrities that may not have enjoyed superhero movies before to kind of go, no, look, it is really good,
I'm being honest. I think this thing could be amazing, and I'm really looking forward to it. But there is one correction there, Paul. We still have Aquaman 2 to go, which I think will be a massive turd, massive turkey, and is because of this being, like you say, maybe connected tissue, saying goodbye to the old universe and possibly hinting towards new universes. Aquaman 2 it's in for a bad ride. Really bad ride.
We talked about the merger and how they cancelled a whole bunch of things because they could claim it back on insurance and stuff like that. I don't understand why they didn't do that with Aquaman.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you.
It's because the first one made $1 billion, but I think they should have read the waves, looked at the tides and thought, no.
And like, to think about it, if this is like, this does not, if Flash is actually as good as people are saying it is, it's not giving Aquaman 2 a fighting chance in any way. I don't understand why they're doing it. If they were going to do it in any way, they should have released Aquaman 2 first. They should have just done it. Unless for some strange reason Aquaman leads into or gives more kind of like, I guess, footsteps into the changing over to the DCU kind of thing, as in like Flashpoint Paradox and then Aquaman 2 kind of like kickstarted even further, then like I get the reasoning behind it, but they're really playing
that
up
feels
the Flash.
unlikely.
Yeah, they're really playing up the Flash angle, so I don't understand this.
I am very excited. To be honest, I really, really do want to see the Flash. I'm looking forward to that. Paul, the only other one that I have on the list, I think this is the only other one we have on our list jointly, and that's June 30th to close out the month. We have what early screenings seem to be saying is another kick in the gut coming in the form of another Indiana Jones movie. Which, by the way, there are 3 amazing Indiana Jones movies. And that's where it should have ended.
People can argue as much as they like about Indiana Jones Crystal Skull. I will go back and watch that film.
I love you, pop culture, but no.
I'll go back and watch it, and it will be the end of Heroes Out if more likely we like it, if I like it. But I'll go back and watch it and give it a fair chance. But so far, and I know that people are going to say, but it's so easy to kick it while it's down. I don't think that. Which is, I think it's just that the first 3 were great, and now they've gone too far.
I hope this last one, Dial of Destiny, Indiana Jones 5. We all know it's Harrison Ford's last run of the hat and whip. I was positive all along, going, hey, don't prejudge it. It could be good. It could be good. It's just a little dirty. It's still good. Hearing everybody after the preview in Cannes say, don't get your hopes up. I'm starting to already think, oh gosh, is this one of those things where you're just going to tell people what a friend once told me about Crystal Skull? They were like, you love Indiana Jones too much. Don't watch Crystal Skull. Are we going to end up saying the same thing about this movie?
Could possibly be it, but we'll see. There is 2 more movies. Do you want to talk about those quickly?
Oh,
give them
the 2 coming up on streaming. We've got middle of the month, June 16th, Extraction 2, which is a big movie, thanks to CAO Arnold Schwarzenegger's chief action officer. And then Disney Plus, June 21st, we've got the real big Marvel TV show of this year, and that is Secret Invasion,
which
Sam
I am
Jackson.
So excited for.
As am I, and I think we will be covering on the channel.
Yes, we definitely will be. I think it's going to merge a lot of universes and things together, like Shield, Agents of Shield, and stuff like that. So that'll be really good. So that has been the movies and TV shows that we're looking forward to in June, the month coming up. We should look for the next monthly news roundup to see what we're looking forward to in August. July. I got that so wrong.
June,
but yeah,
July.
So comment down below if there's any news stories that we missed, or comment down below and let us know how you felt about the stories that we covered or the movies that we've covered for next month. Anything else you want to add?
No, if you've been watching this long, do us a favor and hit a like, because if you've been watching this long, you must have liked something, and we appreciate that. Watch out for a poll or 2 coming from us about future rapid reviews that we'll be recording. But up next week, Paul, I believe, in honor of the release of a new White Men Can't Jump, we've got a rapid review of the original White Men Can't Jump.
That was
so fun. Check that out.
That was fun. But otherwise, thank you very much for watching. I've been Paul.
And I've been Patrick.
And we've been Hear Us Out.
We'll see you next time.
See you next Thursday. Bye-bye.